So at this point, what you should have are your form tags added in, and then you should have the action set to mail to this particular email address, the method sent to be post, and then all the text in between them should be deleted. And we're going to add in our own text to create a form. So to start, what I'd like you to do is type in the following paragraph, because we're actually going to give them special instructions on what to do if they would like to order a particular picture from the Bill Thomas Illustrations website. So you need to actually type this in to your web page. And then once you're done, we'll add in the next chunk. So this should now be saved. And if you were to run this in Chrome, you should see that it has added that little text in there. If you noticed, I noticed that mine had an extra little line in there, so I can delete that out. And then there we go. So you can see the instructions for the form at the very, very top. So once you've got that piece added in, you can now start adding in the text boxes. And so we're going to create 7 different text boxes for all of the user's information. So their name, their address, their email information, their city, their state, everything like that is going to be included in the form. And I'm going to walk through this pretty simply because adding text boxes is pretty simple, but you do have to be pretty consistent. So every single text box you'll give a name, a type, a size, and a max length. And then you'll want to put that in front of text for your actual text box. So I'm going to start off and just have a generic paragraph tag that starts everything off. You don't need to, but I'm going to have my last name put in there in between paragraph tag. So here I have my last name, and next to this, I want to put a text box. So here I'm going to use the input tag right away. Say the input tag, it has a name that is equal to, I'm going to put last name, a type that is equal to text because I want to create a text box. I'm going to give it a size of, maybe I only want to have it be 15 characters because most first names aren't that long. And then I'm going to give it a max length that is equal to 25 characters. And then from here, I can save it and I can run it and I can see last name, and then it enters down and it puts a box. And for some of you, you're probably like, well, I would like to have my text box immediately next to last name. So what we can do instead is we can go back in here and you can actually delete out this paragraph tag, this closing paragraph tag, and we're not going to close off that paragraph tag just yet. So watch, if we save this and we run it, then that text box goes right up next to last name, which is kind of what we want. We want them to be in a row, and maybe we'll close off a paragraph tag at some point. So if you leave that paragraph tag open, it'll allow you to put some input boxes with text boxes right next to your text. So then the next thing that we want to add, if we look back at the previous slide, is you want to add in your first name. And I'm going to not close that tag just yet, or that paragraph tag just yet, because I want it all to be on the same line. So I have first, I'm giving it a name of first name, type is equal to text, size is equal to do 15 again, and max length is equal to 25. So if I save it, and then from here, if afterwards I close my paragraph tag, it'll then enter down to the next line. So here you can see I have first name and last name. If you want to see how size works with max length, you can see that it goes off to the side all the way until I hit 25 characters. But here you can see I have a form with my first and my last name. Now the next one that I need to create is my street address. So here I'm going to go down to the next line. I'm going to start a new paragraph tag, and I'm going to do street address, and then I'm going to put an input tag right next to it with a name address, because that's the information that this text box is tracking. Type is equal to text, so I create a text box. Size I'm going to do is equal to, we'll do 30 with a max length that is equal to, we'll do 45 to give them some more space in case they have a long street name. Then from there, I want to close off that paragraph tag so that it will enter down to the next line. So now if I run, there you go. Now, if you don't like using the different paragraph tags, what you can also do is instead of having these different paragraph tags, you can just include the break tag that we've talked about and just leave a paragraph tag at the beginning and a paragraph tag at the end. So here, if I save and now I run, you'll see that with the break tag after the first name, it just breaks the street address down to the next line. So now I'm going to keep going. We have city. So here I have an input tag with the name city, type is equal to text, size is equal to, we'll do 15 again, and max length is equal to, we'll do 25 in case they have a long city name. Now from here, if I save and I run, I notice that city is right next to street address, which isn't ideal because I'd like it to be on the next line. So I can now make a note here that I want my break tag, enter a break. And then from here, I'm going to copy this and use the same thing for state and just change the words. So I have city becoming state, the name also becoming state. Then I have type text, max length and size are fine. Keep going. Here I need to use my zip. Change the name to zip. Size length maybe shouldn't be more than 10, and neither should the max length because zip codes tend to be pretty. Then from here, I want to input in my break tag. And here I'll have my email address to end. I'm going to copy this because I want my email address to allow them to type a little bit longer. So name is equal to email address, type text, size 30, and a max length of 30. So at this point, I save it and I view it. You can see I have a nice set of text boxes for me to type inside. So some things to note about each of these is they all contain a name to track the information that that text box contains. They also have a type. They have the same type of a text box to create those text boxes. They have a size and a max length to then indicate the size of the box as well as the text length that can be typed in. And we can control that a little bit by having a zip code that's pretty short or something of that nature. So that's the first chunk that you should have added in. So now from here in the next video, we're going to start adding in things like checkboxes, adding in radio buttons, etc., etc.